What's up, world? This is Yuri, aka Russian Prototype. Today is a very special day. Today we are celebrating. And what exactly are we celebrating? We're celebrating 1K journey, okay? We are celebrating this amazing community. We're celebrating this channel. We're celebrating the connections. We're celebrating friendships. We're celebrating the content. We're celebrating everything associated with the channel. It's been so much fun since September of 2020 to be part of this, to create videos, to build connections, to meet new friends, to learn how to make videos, to share my opinions, and lately doing these amazing live streams. Such a fun thing, I must say. And so really today is about celebration of the Prototypes community. This has been, if somebody told me about this, 8 months ago, that I would be here right now with you, making these connections, making these videos, jumping on these live streams, I would not believe you. It feels very, very surreal. So we're going to celebrate each other today. It's about you. And so a couple of things that I wanted to share before I bring on my first guest is how this channel started. In September of 2020, I just decided to post one video and talk about my experience as a Russian immigrant in the United States. And that first video was very interesting. It's still to the date the video that accumulated the most views. And I just, sit in front of camera and tell people how I felt as a Russian immigrant in the United States, what it felt like to engage in relationships, what I was looking for in my partner, and everything in between. And I think a lot of people resonated with the message. I think a lot of people really felt the honesty of that message. And a lot of people ended up coming back. To my surprise, more and more people continue to subscribe to the channel. More people continue to communicate. What really kind of was surprising to me is the comments that came from the audience and the stories that people shared. Many people resonated with my videos. I think many people were in situations where they were either dating a Russian man or they were interested in dating a Russian man. And so it began. And it has been amazing. It has been amazing ever since. So I'm super, super grateful for the journey so far. And connections developed is the best part of this journey. Undoubtedly, the best part of this journey. And this is what we're celebrating today. We are less than 20 subscribers away from 1,000 subs on this channel. So we are getting close. But again, it's not just about the number. It's about what that meant, what this process meant for me, what this process meant for the community, and, what it's going to mean going forward as well. Speaking of the community, let's see who is... No. Before we give shout outs to people who's watching, I want to give you a few stats, quick stats. Majority of people who watch this channel, about 90%, are women. 40% of the audience reside in the United States of America. About between 5 to 6%, the next biggest metric category, resides in France, surprisingly. And then the rest of it sprinkled around the world. So really, this is very international community. Even though the majority, if you look at one country as a majority, it would be United States. But if you look at majority for the channel overall, it would be the world. 60% of individuals on this channel are coming from different countries around the world. To me, that's incredible. That's unprecedented. This is the power of YouTube. This is the power of technology. I could have never dreamed to bring people together from different countries of the world in one place. So this is quite surreal. If you're watching, be sure to smash the like button. No ghost watchers today. We're going to make sure we have a good time. Smash this like button. It helps the video. It helps the channel. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. Speaking of which, let me quickly see who's in the audience today before we bring on our first live guest, okay? It looks like we have Linda's in the house. Hello, Linda. No problem. We'll be here in 30 to 45 minutes. So please come back. We have your mother in the house. Andrea, how are you today? Thank you for jumping on. Appreciate you. We have Felicia in the house. How you doing, Felicia? Thanks for joining. We have Heather in the house. Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for joining. We have Lisa in the house. Thank you. She said congratulations in Russian. Поздравляю. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. We have Jane Doe in the house. Привет, привет. Thank you for being here. Looks like Heather using both of her accounts. So Heather, hello. We have Brian in the house. Hello, Brian. Brazil is in the house. We have Felicia is in the house. Also Brazil. I wasn't playing about the world. The world is literally here. Привет. Hello in Russian. Hello, Letitia. Thank you for joining. Let's see who else we have. We have Nessa in the house. Guam in the house. Island in the Pacific Ocean. Amazing. Again, the world is literally here. Thank you so much for being here, Nessa. I appreciate you. We have Mike in the house from Colombia, but currently in Tampa. It's like Canva, but with Tampa. Canva in Tampa is Campa. Mike is in Tampa, Florida. Thank you for being here, my dear friend. Let's see. We have 11 people here right now. That's amazing. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Thank you for being here. First guest, if you're ready, feel free to join my first guest because it's about that time so we can start that conversation. Because as I said, this live stream is about the community. The channel is just a byproduct of all of you, of all of your engagement, of all of your feedback, of you watching the content, and of you keep coming back. So we'll wait for that first guest to join. I'm ready for you whenever you are. And then we'll get that started. And I believe that she is here. I don't see your video yet. I think your device is trying to connect right now. By the way, give me thumbs up in the comments if my internet connection is good. If you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, give me thumbs up in the comments. We also have Agatha from Indonesia. Thank you for being here. We miss you too. As I was just saying, that the entire world is literally, not the entire, but a lot of different parts of the world is on this channel, which is super, super amazing. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. I think the guest is still trying to join. I see you in the background. You keep coming in and coming out. So just take a look at your video, make sure that your video is working. So when they ask you for all the live guests, because I think a lot of you here, for all of the live guests, make sure you activate your microphone and make sure you accept the video on your device, whether you use the phone or whether you use the laptop. You'll have to click yes to allow access to your microphone, and then click yes to allow access to your video. I see you over there, but it's still saying device not connected. So they should ask you the question, and then you can also, it looks like you sent me a message in the private chat. I see it. No problem. Keep trying. And when you come in, just make sure you choose accept. Let's see. Let's see if I can do anything here. It's saying device is not connected. Were you able to accept? Click yes on the video and the microphone, because normally when you come in, it should allow you to jump in once you approve the video. We have some thumbs up from Linda, watching from Tennessee. We have thumbs up from Felicia, watching from Alabama. We have some thumbs up from Jane. Jane, I cannot remember for the world of me where you're watching from. Remind me, please. We have thumbs up from Masha, watching from Germany. Oh, this is not thumbs up. This is okay sign, which is super cool. Thumbs up from Letitia, which means that you can hear me and you can see me okay. This is good news. This is good news because internet has been kind of spotty. I think the live guest continues to trying to join. So while we're waiting on her, I'm going to tell you that this channel truly changed my life. You know, this channel really changed my life for many reasons. Connection, of course, is the main reason. Connection with people is one of the main reasons. It also made me realize that, you know, I can create content that can help people, and this is within itself is an amazing feeling, because the comments that I receive from many people is what's really touching. Many people said that videos helped them with their relationships. Many people said that videos helped them to understand Russian men better. And that's truly humbling feeling. This is something that, you know, keeps me going and creating content. And I'll be honest, like, understanding humans' psychology is amazing. It's so cool. I think our special guest is here, so let me bring her on. You made it. So here you are. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining. So one fun fact right off the bat about you is that you are the very first subscriber of this channel.
Yeah.
The very first one. Lisa smashed the subscribe button when nobody else did. And that my first question to you is, what made you subscribe to this channel?
So what made me subscribe generally was because my special interest has always been the Russian language. I've been studying it for quite some time, and I love speaking it when I can. And also, after the mostly positive experiences that I've had with Russian men, I came to discover a love for them, but most importantly was the person on the inside. And as an autistic person, I had to look for the how-to guide. So it was like, okay, there's a how-to guide, and it was good to hear a different perspective. And that's where I met you, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm hitting the subscribe button. This must be a new channel. I'm going to go for it. I'm like, I'm going to message you. I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I'm just going to go for it.
So your Russian is very good. How long have you studied Russian, and what sparked interest in Russian?
Я изучаю русском языке 2 года. So for 2 years, but I can speak it like basic conversation, but that's okay. The rest will come. But it's a kind of a funny story. It initially started off with a child at my daycare that used to come to my daycare, and his first language was Russian, and his babushka would teach me some words, and Russian had me "Здравствуйте", "Здравствуйте" и "Привет" и "Как дела?" And I wanted to learn more. It just clicked, and the cultural part of it matched a lot of things that I have and hold strong values to.
Nice, because you live in Ontario, Canada, correct?
Yep, Curtis, Ontario, Canada.
Okay, and so your connection with Russian culture or exposure to Russian culture, it came after you started learning language or before?
So before I started learning the language, my exposure ended up coming just with the child. But then as I started learning the language, I really wanted to expose myself to the people. And granted, it taught me a lot of things, but it made me discover what I really liked, what I really wanted. But you have to work for what you want. But the more I exposed myself, the more I fell in love with it. Even when I was at the Russian grocery store and I tried out my Russian, and the lady, she said, "You're welcome," in English.
Yeah.
At first, it kind of made me feel weird, but I'm like, you know what? I'll keep trying to go there next time I'm in Toronto and continue to expose myself to it and talking to different people from Russia.
Yeah, that's super interesting, and in 2 years you've made really amazing strides, because I can tell that like you can talk, you can carry a conversation in Russian. Another thing too that I think very interesting about you, you seem to be a person who's very like curious and very self-growth oriented, because you always asking very like interesting questions. You always looking to learn things. And so how did all of that come about? Like, have you always been that way, or how did that happen?
Нет. Не всегда. Not always. Actually, I've always been somebody in my younger days having a very fixed mindset. But as I started transforming my life and transforming myself, and that's what got me into it. Because my mom, actually, she's one of the biggest people. My mom's huge into self-growth, and I adopted that from her, and I just kept applying it. And there are times where she's reminded me, like, she's the most important person that's been there for me. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to take this path. I'm going to go with it. And granted, it's not going to be easy. I've even told you, like, it's not easy, but you know what? It's worth it. But I came from opposite parents. My parents are polar opposite. So like, my mom was more into the growth, very successful, very good mindset, where my dad, he was the polar opposite, and like friend first, yada, yada, yada. And the more I was around my dad, it's like, I don't want to be that way. Yeah, this is where I came from. This is what kind of family situation I was in. This is how it impacted me. But I'm going to come out of it a stronger person. I'm not going to go down my dad's path. I would never find somebody that is like him. I want the person that's also into the growth mindset, even through the good days and the real horrible days.
Yeah.
So when I get into a special interest, I study it a lot. I really get into my special interests. So yeah, that's what got me into it. Not an overnight process, but that's part of loving the journey.
Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. So a lot of people watching are from different countries around the world, and I think it would be cool if you tell people a little bit about Canada. Just how,
Okay.
yeah, like just in general, doesn't have to be anything crazy, but how do you perceive it? Like, what would you tell somebody who doesn't know anything? I don't know much about Canada, so what it's like to live in Canada. Um, what like Canadians think of Russians? Anything you want to share?
Yeah. So what I can say about Canada, get used to the winters. If you think the Russian winters are brutal, same with the Canadian winters. If you're used to that, hey, you'll survive Canada. Our summers, get used to our summers because they can either be really well, like today is beautiful, or it can be scorching hot. So it's kind of like a Florida summer almost. And check out every different province, not just Ontario. Go through a tour of provinces. In Toronto, just take the subway, have no schedule, get off at every stop, check out and explore the city. And an interesting fact about Canada, a lot more movies now are being made here. And as for the people, the small town people are going to be very welcoming, and they're going to be all over you. And with a lot of the big city people in Canada, it's like anywhere else, it's going to be really hit or miss. But typically, Canada is also big with communities. Like, I'm part of so many different communities that you'll have a sense of belonging. But the people being nice, yes, the people are nice, but if you definitely want to come to Canada, check it out. And yeah, it's really great, especially if you're someone who likes nature and hiking and stuff. BC's a good place for that, and there's ski hills.
Yes, I've heard about that. I've seen some pictures of British Columbia. It's amazing.
Oh, I want to go. I have a friend that lives there, and two of my cousins, they've lived there before. And I've always been told, once you go to BC, you won't want to go to Ontario. But I think it's different for everybody. Like I've learned to realize that everyone experiences things or countries differently. So what one person can say is the best thing ever, somebody can end up saying, it was the worst thing ever. And I've learned how to just accept that. But definitely come to Canada.
Yeah, I've been to Toronto.
You've been to Toronto. You were telling me before.
Yeah,
I
it's a
frequent
cool
the
place.
city. I frequent it because I have a lot of family. I have family there, and I enjoy seeing them. And plus, I enjoy going out there. Like, I know I've been afraid since lockdown and everything, and since things have reopened, but now I'm at the point I'm so done with being afraid, and just my heart's telling me to go for it. Do it.
Yeah, sounds like you are ready.
More than ready.
Well, listen, I wanted to take time to thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for engaging with the videos. Thank you for all your insightful questions. It's a pleasure. I feel like, as you asking me questions, I'm growing from it too, because I try to think what would be the best answer. It's not like I'm an expert. I'm just
Be
telling you.
blunt. Be blunt. Be direct.
telling you my opinions, really,
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, and I really thank you for joining today, taking time out of your day, and just sharing a little bit about you, and just hanging out. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me on live. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your day, and I hope you're gonna stay
Oh, I will.
on the channel. I hope you won't disappear. I hope you will not click unsubscribe.
No, I would never do that.
Well, wonderful. Have a wonderful day. Okay, Lisa, appreciate you.
Yes, thanks. Same to you.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. This is awesome. This is what this all about. This human connection, sharing stories, sharing experiences, learning from each other, meeting new people. This is what it's all about. Next guest, if you are ready, you can go ahead and join. I am ready for you if you are, but I'm also trying to figure out my second screen right now. My second screen is not working for some reason. Like I cannot turn it on and turn it off. So I hope it didn't break completely on me. The funny thing, I can share it. I can see it over here in my panel, but the screen itself is not turning on or off, which is interesting. If you are still watching, make sure to smash this like button. No ghost watchers. Don't let me bring this mask in those glasses, because I will do that. All right, we have our next guest here. So let me go ahead and bring her on. Hello, Heather. How are you?
Hi, Yuri. Hi, everybody else. Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
I think there's a little bit of delay, but that's okay. You can hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So one thing, if you have me on YouTube right now, that might be a reason too for a delay. So if you have YouTube, maybe
That's it.
yeah, try to maybe like close it out of it, because that might cause a delay potentially. But one thing that I wanted to start with, I remember your appearance. You made an appearance in the previous live stream, one of the earlier ones, and you said, I was binge watching a lot of Russian shows, and that's how Yuri ended up in my recommendations. And that made me smile when I was watching it again, the beginning of that live stream. So I wanted to find out, how was your interest in Russian culture started, or what sparked it to begin with?
I think I was getting into Asian K-dramas and things like that. So I wanted to broaden my horizons and look at French TV, and then that went to Russian TV. So, I just like to watch TV, and I like to watch multicultural shows. So the organic expansion, basically.
So you were just watching the multicultural shows and you came across Russian stuff. It wasn't like an intentional way for you to look specifically for something Russian.
Yeah, I was looking it up.
Nice.
I did search for it too as well.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? Like, what are your perception of the Russian culture, like in general? How do you feel about it? Can you summarize it, or can you, did you form any perceptions about it based on what you've seen so far?
That's a good question. I really respect it. There's a lot of parallels to my beliefs and how I was raised. Like the taking your shoes off before you go in the house. I do that. And my family, we save all our plastic bags from the grocery store. Like things like that. That I can relate to, and the way people are respectful and they mind their business, and they're religious or spiritual, things like that.
That's good.
Am I still lagging?
You're lagging a little bit, but I think it's better than it has been in the beginning. So I think we'll make it work. One other thing that I want to let people know is that you are an artist as well. You have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to put it on the screen. And that channel is Heather Sketches. So you're making these beautiful drawings. I wanted to be able to showcase it to people. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can actually move this. I wanted to play a video.
My best work is on my Instagram, but
I wanted to play a video to showcase it to
let's
people.
do Felicia's video.
Let's
One of
see.
the prototypes. Let's do Felicia's video. That was a commission I did for her.
Hold on one moment.
Video.
I literally cannot. Here we go. You wanted a different video?
Yeah, let's do Felicia's video. Shout out to Felicia, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Felicia. So this is it. So you are literally, well, we'll just watch it for a little bit.
Yeah. It gets better, you guys.
So you basically drawing this all the way through, right?
Yeah, so I draw the sketch on Procreate. It's digital art. And then you just layer in the colors. And it's kind of like putting on makeup for all the ladies in the chat that do their makeup. You know how you have to highlight and contour and all that stuff. So I just layer on the colors and it just comes together. And I made some edits as well as I went. So you can just zip through to the end, close to the end, because it's a long video.
Hold on one second. I'm having a difficult time here because I cannot literally see the other screen. And I'm just trying to do it all from one screen. So that's why it's maybe looks a little funky. Here we go. I can pause it. This is really cool. This is super cool because I was going to ask you the process because it looks like you are, let's see, I think I want to be able, here we go. So when you do these videos, do you actually take pictures, take separate shots of everything, and then you put it together in a video?
No, in Create, it records as you're drawing. So I just literally have the recording from Procreate. So, yeah.
So, because you cannot, on that video that we just watched, when you're drawing Felicia, you cannot see your hand. So that's what I was wondering. How do you actually film it? Because you're saying you are filming it? Because
Procreate is for you. So it's filming it as I draw it. So, yeah.
I would like to find out more about it. So I'll connect with you probably offline on the exact technique, because I can see like this is a really cool content. Just the effect itself for some videos to be able to execute that. Because on the other video, the first video that we started watching, you can see your hand, you know, and in the second video you can't. So I was wondering, did she just take a bunch of pictures and then just put it together like animation? But that would seem like a lot of work, you know. But it makes sense if you're using the software.
See, when you're seeing my hand, that's me hand drawing, and I'm using my iPhone to record it. So I have like an iPhone rig. So that's like a different process.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. I definitely would love to learn more about it. Absolutely. So one thing that I was going to tell you, one acknowledgement that I was going to give you is that you have been really like consistent with engagement. I think you always on live streams, and literally, like, for people who not on Instagram, I do the Monday through Friday Instagram live streams, and Heather always on those live streams, interacting, engaging. So I really appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that you really always think about ideas for the channel. You always like telling me new ideas. You're always like thinking what could be done to improve the channel, and providing these suggestions. So I really appreciate that. It's really cool, to have you, someone who is so engaged, and someone who is like willing to communicate these things. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
One thing that I also say to everybody who's watching, check out Heather's channel, and subscribe. Take a look at the art. Enjoy it. I was actually like relaxing when I was watching it earlier, because it's kind of like almost meditating in a sense, watching like somebody drawing and with the nice music. So is there
good. Maybe I can do an ASMR channel.
A what?
Art. So maybe I can do an ASMR art channel if it's relaxing.
I didn't get the word that you said. A what?
ASMR.
What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like when you speak.
It's like it's those. Yeah, when the people are whispering and stuff.
Oh yeah. The abbreviations sometimes, but yeah. You should try.
How was your fast yesterday? Did you fast yesterday?
I did. I fasted the entire day, and then I
oh my God,
broke down and ate something before I went to bed.
I'm going to eat today. I'm over it. I did my 5 days, so I'm done today.
So you're gonna be eating again today?
Today, I'm going to celebrate the channel with a meal.
That's good.
Yes.
Fasting, yeah. Look, more power to you about fasting, because that's not easy. That's not easy to build up to it. It's your day number 6, right?
5. No, today will be 6, but I'm going to break it today. So I did 5 days.
Yeah.
And I think that was enough. It's like fasting is like building a muscle. So you do small fasts before you do the longer fast. So I think 5 days is good enough for now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, props to you for that. That's incredible. Well, listen, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much just for being so engaged with the channel, being such a huge proponent, constantly, coming up with ideas, constantly, exuding kindness towards other people and embracing different cultures. I really appreciate that. You have been an amazing supporter, and I hope that, you going to continue to be a part of this community. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Yuri.
I will be talking with you soon. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Take
Bye,
care.
prototypes.
Bye.
Says bye.
Bye, Heather. All right, we have our next guest. We're going back to back today. Thank you for your patience, our next guest. I appreciate you not leaving. Let's go ahead and bring her on. Our next live guest is Andrea. How are you today, ma'am?
I'm well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Had like 3 cups of coffee.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. So people saw you a lot as your mother. Now it's finally they're going to be able to put the face to the name or name to the face. Could you tell a story why your mother?
It's just an alias, and I thought it was a funny one. So like when I comment, it's like your mother says, you know what I mean? And I get a lot of laughs out of it. I've thought about changing my name to my real name, but people seem to be so entertained by your mother that I just left it as is. So it's funny though. I get a kick out of it every time I post a comment somewhere. So
No, it's kind of funny because, lately when I would see your comment on the live stream, I know who you are, but I kind of like saying your mother. It sounds kind of cool. I don't know. It's like, and then plus some people don't like to they don't like to be called the different names other than what the allies that they have. So like I never know sometimes, even though I know the person, should I call them by their name or should I not call them by their name?
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's okay to call me Andrea. You can call me your mother, whatever, whatever floats your boat.
What would be weird? What would be weird if you had my mother? Then I think I would definitely call you Andrea all the time, because I think it'll be weird for me to say my mother. But your mother, I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's just a smart ass screen name, it was the only thing I could think of at the time when I was, creating my membership with YouTube. So
yeah. No, 100%. I understand.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to the channel first? I don't think I ever talked to you about that.
I don't know. I remember Felicia like mentioning, how like you're up late at night, you're kind of like looking through YouTube, and I just somehow stumbled upon it and just never quit watching and subscribed and began kind of interacting, and I guess the rest is history, So
yeah, for sure. Look, I think you've mentioned before in your comments on some of the videos that I want to say that you've dated someone from Eastern Europe or something like that, and it was like part of the reason why you were interested in the culture. And obviously, don't share what you don't feel like sharing. It's not like we're not exposing people over here. But I was just curious, was there some sort of point of connection with someone from Eastern Europe that made you wonder about the culture or something like that?
Well, kind of me, because I'm ethnically mixed, but I was raised in America and I was never taught anything about the culture. So like in dating several, Eastern European men throughout my life, I'm 38. So I've dated a couple guys from Ukraine. I've dated a couple Russians, I've dated a Bosnian, so, and I've dated a Serbian. So they're all different in their own ways, but I definitely think that the channel has helped kind of help me understand culture that I wasn't able to pick up at home, So I was mostly always hearing about, oh, you're Portuguese, and how Portuguese I am. And it's like, that's cool, but like I'm other things too. So just curiosity killed the cat, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. And thank you for sharing that. So just, I'm curious, like your take on what are some of the differences between Western man and Eastern man that you kind of noticed?
Well, Western men aren't, in my own humble opinion. So everything I, say is my own experience, but generally have a hard time being assertive. I'm a pretty blunt person, and I'm to the point in most of the things that I do. So that's one of the big differences that I've noticed is just, American men in general, or Western men, I should say, in my own humble opinion, tend to have like just issues in general with making up their minds, being assertive, speaking their minds. I've noticed that, with dating an Eastern European man, you're never gonna wonder what he's thinking. You're gonna know what he's thinking because he's gonna tell you. And most of, sometimes, some of the advice can be a little, harsh, But in reality, it's just the way the culture is, you know. So most of the advice that I've gotten that some people would think was like harsh is like, well, they're just doing it because they care and they want you to know that they do. So I think that they show emotion. Eastern European men show emotion a bit differently compared to, you know, Western men. So those are the few things that I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah, no, very cool. And it's so funny that you said you're very blunt with how you communicate, because I literally looked the note that I had, direct feedback regarding topics that we discussed. Because literally your comments sometimes you like I love it because it's like so direct and it's like exactly how you feel, you know?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, that's Andrea. Because when I read your comments, I was like, I'm loving it. Sometimes I'm laughing because I'm like, she's always telling how she feels. She's speaking her mind. Have you
Yeah.
always been like that, or is there
Yes.
something like, so there's no like specific events that influenced that? You were just like this from the moment you were walking the earth.
Um, you know, I think it would be childhood. I had to be the adult in a lot of situations as a child. So when I, you know, got older, I'm just, you know, not afraid to speak my mind. You know, I had to just grow up so quick and be the adult in my household that, I mean, I think that that has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, you know, I've just kind of grown into this, you know, strong, independent woman who, you know, speaks fire, you know. So, and everything, you know, even if I'm coming off blunt, it's never meant to, you know, offend anyone. It's just you're literally getting what's in my brain, you know, like no another way to explain. So,
Yeah, no, it's cool. I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate it's refreshing because I think there's a lot of people who don't speak their mind. You know,
yes, yes,
so
thank you.
it's very nice to hear somebody who does. Is that I actually think it's a big difference between like Russia and US. In
Mm.
Russia, you don't have to, because people think like, oh, Russians are kind of rough around the edges and like they borderline aggressive. But the one thing is, and it's neither here or there, you know, it depends on people, of course,
Yeah,
experiences. To some extent, it could be true. But the thing is that you don't have to worry about knowing where you stand with the Russian person.
no, never.
And you know, the thing is, I rather take that than someone who is not telling me how they feel, and then they're going to tell me one thing, but in fact, they're going to feel differently. And I'm not going to really know how they feel about me. You know, I think that's worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm definitely not afraid to tell a person how I feel about them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
Where do you think the dating is going? Because you and I had like an interaction offline where you would tell me about a couple of experiences with online dating. You don't have to talk about them if you don't want. I'm just talking in general. Where do you think we are heading in terms of dating? Do you think it's going to be primarily becoming an online thing? Do you think we're losing touch, personal touch that we've had before? How do you see it?
well, I've kind of like not been I'm on Tinder. I haven't really been like checking it out lately because I just kind of quit looking. I figure, you know, when you quit looking is when you find it. But I think that a lot of dating is geared towards online now. It's difficult. It's not easy. Um, Sometimes I just have to take a break because you know, I get like, okay, this is getting kind of hopeless, you know. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you can be talking to somebody and you think you're hitting it off, all of a sudden they're gone, you know. So um I just I just I don't respect that, to be honest. So, you know, I just kind of gave it up. But um it just really depends on who you are, who you know. If you don't really know a lot of people, you're probably going to gear yourself towards dating online. If you have a crowd of people that you hang out with, it's possible, you know, that you're probably going to meet people in person that your friends know. that can kind of vouch for that person. That's what I would prefer, but it hasn't always been the case. So, but I think that we're moving towards online dating just as much as we're moving towards like shopping online, just as much as we're, the company I work for, all the training is online now. So everything is kind of moving towards online in the last, year or so, more so than before.
Yeah. One other thing that I'm wondering, and again, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but what's some of the qualities, generally speaking, like right now you're saying you kind of given up. Like, what's some of the qualities in a man or in man in general that you deem valuable? Like, what would impress you?
I really, really respect the man who is of his word. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to be, somebody who, if you don't have your word, you have nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I value honesty and truth. I value somebody who, if they have a problem with something, they're going to say it, because I can't read minds. I think I've had experiences where I've dated guys who just think I'm supposed to read their mind or something, and I've never been able to mind read. So I like somebody who speaks their opinion, shares their opinion, even if I don't really want to hear it. Things start to kind of bubble up if you don't tell people how you feel. And I also value someone who, when I'm dating them, they have their own life too. We're not together 100% of the time, but when we're not together, there's no trust issues. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean like go party all night and think that one of us is going to be okay with it. You're at,
Right.
just, getting buck. But
What does that mean? What does getting buck mean?
Getting buck, just being crazy, getting shit-faced, sleeping with whoever, So I like somebody who values their friends and their family enough to kind of like, not forget that they exist. Because I've seen, and possibly myself, been in relationships where I guess it's a clinginess. I value somebody who's not clingy, because I'm not a clingy person. I'm comfortable with myself, and I don't have to have my guy around me 24/7 to know that he still wants me. You know what I mean? So I think those are 3 good values that I hold dear. So
Those are wonderful.
yeah. It took me a long time to figure out what my values were, because we're not born, knowing our values. I literally had to sit down and write things out, and kind of prioritize. Because if you don't know your values, you're not going to, in my own humble opinion, that is, if you don't know your values, you're not going to possibly find somebody who you have anything in common with. You really have to like know yourself when you're out there dating and stuff. So
How many people do you think actually sit down and think about that? Because it seems to me that that doesn't happen by accident. It's something that you have to determine, though, right?
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. In my own experience, I can think of several men I've dated who had no idea what their values were. And I think I've heard you say it before. Maybe it was another person. I feel like it was you, but if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
That's why knowing your values is so important when you're out dating and stuff, because you've got to know yourself before you can really get to know another person.
Yeah, I love that. And also, I would add to that even if you don't know your values, at least know things that you definitely don't want. If
Yeah.
that's easier, create a list of things that you don't want by like at all in another person, and stay away from those things. Because like you said, otherwise it's kind of free fall type of game, and then you might end up in a bad situation.
Yeah. Yep. I've probably been there myself, in my early 20s, mid 20s. So you live, you learn. So
Yeah. Everybody, and look, and the thing is, everybody learning all the time. I don't even think for a moment that like people have it figured out 100%, because even if you have knowledge, you have to put in work still. And it's not like, it's funny to me. I was actually had an idea. I'm going to share it right here on this live stream first about video pertaining to like watering a plant. You know why it's funny to me? Because people take care of their plant every day. They will buy a green plant and they will water this thing every day. And they will like, take care of the leaves, whatever, all the steps to take care of the plant. They will do it every day. But they don't do that crap when it comes to relationship. They don't water the relationship every day. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I have her, or oh, I have him. It's on autopilot now. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
No, people, it will not be okay. You have to water it every day. The rent is due every day. And it might be a video coming up about that, because it's a huge topic. It's a huge topic. That's something, to your point, I never even thought about those things when I was younger. I think
No.
there's a certain like mental level, or a place that you need to arrive at once you, before you know these things, it seems to me,
Yeah, it's usually rock bottom. And then, you figure it out. No, I agree. That would be a great topic for a video. I would definitely be on board. So,
well, it's been awesome. Look, I wanted to say a few words just to thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything. The how you communicate, the fact, obviously, that you're watching the videos, your direct feedback, your hair, the fact that you came on live today. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
you're
being here.
welcome.
Thank you for being the part of this community. And thank you for your support, because you also supported the channel as well through donations. So I'm really, really thankful for all of it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
I hope it's not a last time. Have a wonderful day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. This is so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Let's see some comments before our next guest. We have 3 more guests on the agenda. It's a jam-packed live stream today. So buckle up, folks. Buckle up. So much fun. Let's see. I'm just going to start highlighting random comments. There are so many of them. Oh my God. Should I just go from the beginning? People saying hi to each other, people interacting in the chat. If you haven't smashed this like button, you better do this now, because I'm going to bring my mask. How many likes we have? Let's check it out. And next guest, whenever you're ready, you can actually jump on. The 1 p.m. guest, if you're ready, feel free to join. Let's see how many likes we have, shall we? We have 17 people watching right now. And how many likes do we have? How many likes? Oh, 21 likes. I guess I won't know if everybody like it, but we have more likes than people watching, so it's a good day. Thank you. Thank you for your likes, everyone. Thank you for your likes. Let's highlight some comments. Heather said, thank you for the compliments on my art prototypes. Thank you for joining today. And thank you for creating amazing art. One thing about art that is really incredible to me is that your art will live on beyond your lifetime. And to me, when I think about content, or what I think about art or any creation, to me, that's just like, it's kind of a surreal thing that I could be gone tomorrow, but somebody can still watch my thoughts after I'm gone. And it's the same thing with art. It's like all these amazing artists that we have today, that we're going to art galleries or museums to witness that, something that's been done 100 years ago, in some cases even thousands of years ago. Like, how amazing is that? How amazing is this to create something that will live beyond your time here on this planet? To me, it's incredible. to me is just absolutely incredible. So create whatever it is, create. Allow world to see who you are through your art, through your content, through your creations, whatever that is. I think it's incredible. We have Fee in the house as well. Dobre utro. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Something funny. Literally that's me reading this comment, laughing. We have some appreciation for the members of this community. We have strong ballerina here. Appreciate you being here, everyone. Let's see. I used to use the It's Garden many times in my relationship argument with other now ex-men. They don't get it. That's why they're exes. My next guest, where are you? You have my link in your Instagram. Are you still joining? My next guest, where are you? 1 p.m. I'm waiting for you. You know who you are. A lot of great comments. Appreciation for community. We also have Lanichka in the house. It's great hearing a man talk about the need to maintain a relationship every day. Yes. You want to talk about this while we're waiting on the next guest? Yeah. It's going to be a subject of future video. It has to be because, look, I think the tricky part about this topic is figuring out the balance of doing this between two people. You know, I think one of the hardest part of a relationship is to reach the balance, because things just go away. The physical attraction, I have a video about it. It goes away with time, right? And I think our guest is finally here, so we're gonna table this. We're gonna bring her on, and then we're gonna come back. We can come back to this point, Lanishka. You should know this person because she's been featured on previous live streams. Welcome, Linda. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for taking the time to do this. You are in Tennessee right now, correct?
Yes.
And you are literally talking to people from Brazil, people from Indonesia, people from Russia. How does it make you feel?
Feels great. In fact, you know, I commented at the very beginning that I wouldn't be able to tune in, you know, till now. But the thing is, I had a brainstorm and I just put the whole thing on one of my Bluetooth speakers. So I've been listening all along, even though I haven't been able to really participate now till now. But I really hadn't, those statistics are amazing. I love them. I'm really glad you presented that because it really gave me a feeling of how vast this little group is. And yes, I've been living here in Tennessee for 12 years now. So
yes, this group is very diverse. There are people from literally all around the world, and 60% of people are from different countries.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing. Speaking of different countries, you shared your story about a long distance relationship with a person from a different country, my own country, Russia. And I just wanted to do a quick plug. If you are watching but you have not had a chance to see long distance relationship video part 2, this is where Linda shares her story, and it's very fascinating. So consider checking it out. We won't have time to go into it today in depth, but there is an entire video on this. So one thing that I wanted to acknowledge is the heartfelt stories that you did share with me in that video that I mentioned via your comments. And one thing that you mentioned through your heartfelt stories in your emails and communication that we've had, you've mentioned the the concept of Russian soul. And I thought that that was fascinating, you know, because I've never heard another person from America saying that before. In Russia, I don't know if you heard it. In Russia, there is a saying in Russian, "Широкая русская душа," which means wide Russian soul, which essentially means that Russian soul is, when I say wide, it's probably broad. Broad is the better word. Broad Russian soul, which means that it's all the different things that go into it. It's very encompassing. So, like, when you said that, it was like, whoa. Like, essentially, Linda saying things and concepts that exist in Russia. Did you ever talk to him about that? Did he tell you anything about that?
I think he at one point told me that I do have a Russian soul. We didn't really discuss it at length because part of me has always felt a kinship with Russia. I may have said that effect on that video you mentioned. And then when I finally met him, I felt like I was home. And so there was a lot of things that he mentioned that I didn't, you know, I sort of already knew. I knew without knowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And here through my life, I've been told often that I have a very old soul. So I don't know if an old soul is the same as a Russian soul. But anyway, yeah. And this is an aspect I found with Igor that I've never seen in any other, you know, American man. Everybody okay?
Yeah. I hit my head, Linda.
Oh my
I
God,
hit my
I'm so
head.
sorry. Call 911. But anyway,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, I've never experienced that. And this is what spoiled me now. And I'm, you know, it's either another Russian or nobody. Case closed.
You know, it's a big compliment. And he thought of you very highly if he said that, because, you know, Russian soul, it's all the goodness. Because there's, you know, we talk about these things occasionally on the live stream or the videos. Like, there's a lot of, I mean, look, moon has two sides. You know, there is a dark side of the moon too. There is, you know, all of us as people, and Russians no exceptions, that have shortcomings and bad qualities. But when you say Russian soul, especially when the Russian person says that, it encompasses all the goodness. It's all the things that people are drawn to Russian people. You know, the kindness, the attitude, the sarcasm, the love, the warmness, you know, all these different things that really make the Russian people be unique. And the thing is, you probably know this, if Russian person likes you, you can have a friend for life, because, you know, the love goes deep, the connection goes deep in Russia. And, you know, so it speaks volume. I think it's really cool that he said that to you.
Yeah. And we don't stay in touch anymore, really, but occasionally, I mean, my birthday was in March, so he sent me a birthday text and about he mentioned again my kindness and this and that. I texted back and I said, "What? Nothing that good looking?" And he texted back and said, "It's more important that, you know, you're the kind, caring, giving, blah blah." But as the other video points out, we were 800 and something miles apart. So in the end, I think and he's older. We're older. I'm probably the grandmother of the group. But anyway, I think in the end, you know, he was lonely. Found a fellow Russian immigrant, and so I got the Russian as well, born with it. So, you know, in fact, I say that this is how I found you. And I think I joined in, I forget if it was January or February. He dumped me. I'm glad I can say that now without feeling bad. He dumped me at the end of December. And so I totally see it coming. On this point, I would say not, maybe not all Eastern European men or all Russians tell you exactly what's on their mind, because I learned that when somebody breaks up with somebody, it just doesn't come out of the blue. They're struggling with it for a while. And, you know, I'm the person who would have said, you know what, this is going to work. I would have eased into it if I was going to
Mhm.
him. But anyway, so I was devastated. I started Googling, I need to find another Russian, something like that. Uh, I got up to your site, and I've been listening all the time. I don't make it on time live ones, but I've been listening ever since, and broadened my horizons, and the community have helped me move along. You know, that's all I can say. That's how I noticed people were talking about discovered your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Look, I just want to thank you. Thank you for being part of this channel. Thank you for, sharing your heartfelt stories. I know it's not easy to open up. Because I think as we do that, we impact other people. Sometimes we don't even know how we impact other people. Sometimes it just happens when we share these things. So thank you for being open about those experiences. Thank you for supporting the channel. You've been a great supporter of the channel, and I hope you will remain in the community. I hope you won't vanish.
I will not vanish. And ask though, once you hit 1,000 tomorrow, will there start being ads popping up?
So YouTube already placing ads on my videos as
Oh,
it is. It's not a lot of them just yet. I don't plan. Well, for one thing, I need to go through this process with AdSense. It's the thing through Google that you need to connect to your account.
uh-huh.
So it's not going to happen overnight. I am going to be focused probably a little bit more on other things, such as like there's other ways to monetize. And I can talk to you about it offline if you're more interested about that. So my goal is not necessarily to place ads on the videos right away, but I think down the road, when the channel grows even more, it's probably going to be down the road,
So I'll have to subscribe so I don't get interrupted by those annoying ads. I think you can pay to join YouTube and you don't have any ads.
Yeah, you can do the premium YouTube thing, and they will take out the ads. But as far as ads on my channel, I don't think it's going to happen right away. Meaning me placing them, because
Okay.
once you monetize, you as a creator place them, and it'll be some time before it happens.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yes. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining, Linda. Okay.
You and everybody. Yep. Bye-bye.
Take care. This was so much fun. So much fun. We're running slightly behind, so I apologize, but that's okay. Our next guest, whenever you're ready, you can jump on. If you are watching live, don't forget to smash the like button. We have a lot of comments. Looks like we have some exciting people. Zangief is in the house. Hello, sir. Rash is in the house too. So super, super cool to see you. We still have many cool people here. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Let me see our next guest and see if next guest is ready to go. I see. Let me just text some folks or DM some folks really quickly so they know what's going on. And then we're going to proceed. And then there was a silence. There was a silence. So how are you feeling today? That is the question. Describe in one word, how is your day going in the comments. Put it in. Actually, we're going to switch things up. So because we have my friend here, um, and you probably have seen him as well. So I'm going to bring him in. So we're going to change the order up. So our next live guest is going to be Michael. How are you today, sir?
Hey, Yuri, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining. Listen, first of all, I gotta just acknowledge you by saying that obviously you are my friend, but you also have been a great supporter of the channel. You've been a great proponent, an advisor. You've been a web designer. You took on many different roles to kind of like, motivate me and to help me directly with some of these things that I'm not so good at, such as like website design. So first of all, huge shout out to you for that. I appreciate you for that. We can talk about whatever, man. What are your general thoughts about what's going on here, man?
Well, first, I just want to thank you for bringing me on again. Obviously, this is not the first time, but I wanted to just kind of give a quick little story. So Yuri and I first met when I first met Yuri, or stepped into the prototype universe before it was even called prototype. We were working together. He was one of my superiors. He was holding a meeting, and I regarded him with a lot of admiration and respect as somebody who carried himself well, but also brought a lot of levity to any engagement. But then, much later on, many years later, we decided to go to a concert together, and we stayed up talking about life and so many things really late. But I remember the next day we were talking about this. I don't know if you remember, but the next day I was telling you, hey man, if you can basically create content online and speak your truth, this is something that many people are doing and are able to share with the world. And it was probably sometime after that, maybe a year or two after that, that I saw you were really putting in effort to creating your channel. And it's been amazing to watch you grow, not just as a content creator, but as someone who can engage with many different human beings of different backgrounds, different experiences, and bring out the best in them, as we can see today. It was really nice to kind of see your first subscriber. It was really nice seeing Lisa on and seeing Heather draw Felicia and your mother. That was great. I had to comment that in the comments. It's the best alias. Every time I see that alias in the comments, I'm like, man, that would be your mother, or something your mother would say. And everyone else that's always engaging. I see a lot of regulars in the comments, and it's just proof that you've been able to bring a lot of value to people. And I only expect that that's going to continue to extend, and this channel is going to grow, and you're going to continue to bring value to so many more people. So I'm just excited for what the rest of this year and next year has in store for you, man.
I appreciate the kind words, my friend. It means a lot, especially coming from you. It's funny how things worked out because, Mike and I, we used to work together in college, and then we reconnected many years later because we had common friends. And, I think we both can kind of point to one event when we went to this music venue in Miami and just party up and had a good time. And then just had opportunity to bond and ended up talking about different things and kind of continue to build on the friendship. And one thing which is interesting, which is kind of off topic, but I think music is incredible power of nature, right? Because music creates emotion. And you just went to the musical performance yesterday. And we went to Sunset Festival not too long ago. I don't know, man. I think that music is sort of that point of connection that people have. That's always amazed me. The fact that a thing like music, thing like sports, can bring so many people together, like massive crowds, right? And people can forget about their differences. And then people can actually talk about things in common and build something together. Why do you think that happens, man? Why do you think things like music and sports bring people together and make people create these friendships and create these connections?
Well, this is a really great question. And for me, I just look back in history and I always think back about our ancestors, our roots. If you go far back enough, we have very common ancestors. Every one of us, I think anthropologists have estimated that we're all family, and that, some of us may be first cousins, some of us may be brothers, some of us may be second or third cousins, but at the very most removed, any other person on the face of the planet is at the most a 50th cousin, meaning that if you go up 50 generations, you will have one common ancestor. And as far as why music and sports would bring us together, and I think this is something that humans have been engaging in to bond for a long time. I mean, if you go back to hunter-gatherer times, when you had tribes of 50 to 150 people living together for generations to survive, they would create a culture, most likely, for example, around the campfire. And at night, they would create a fire, people would gather around, tell stories, beat on drums, dance together. And that may be one reason why music brings us together. And I know for at least for me, whenever we've gone to see electronic music DJs who incorporate these drum beats, it definitely brings, I love all music, but something about the drum beats brings out something in the community, at least like in the electronic dance community when we go out to music festivals. And it seems to bring out some deeper part of us that does want to connect around music, around rejoicing in everyone's uniqueness, but also the fact that we're all in this together. We're all in this spaceship traveling around the sun. It's amazing. It's a beautiful mystery.
Yeah, it is. I agree, man. There is a lot of connections that happens on subconscious level, it seems, because when you hear the music and when you see the people, and it's just, I remember my first festival back in 2018. I could never come back to nightclub. Well, not that I don't like nightclubs, I do, but it's just the feeling was different. The overpowering feeling of music and people hanging out together. It was so real, man. And I think it's something to be said about people like striving to find what they connect with, whatever that is, because when you find it, like I connect with music a lot. I connect with creating now a lot. And I think you kind of own it to yourself to figure it out what it is, because once you find it, you can really have this innate feeling that this is it. And whether it is something that you can see yourself pursuing professionally or something that you can see yourself doing for fun, it could be a great thing for people, I think.
I agree.
What some comments say? I think there's somebody was asking a question. I guess somebody wanted to know, Leticia wanted to say, your name, your last name. I think you said that before.
Yes, Iglesias. Iglesias. That is a descendant of a Spanish line for sure.
One funny thing was when a few years back, I don't know why, but Enrique Iglesias, that singer, and one time I sent Mike a text and I asked him, "Are you related to Enrique Iglesias?" I think Mike said, "No, I'm not related to Enrique Iglesias."
Yeah, no. Actually, my mom's sister, she married this Lebanese guy in Colombia, and their family is a family of musicians, and you may know one of them, whose name is Shakira, who was born in the same hometown as my parents, Barranquilla, on the coast of Colombia. We are, my family are people who love music, who love great food, who love the ocean, the beach. It's a coastal city. And we love celebrating people of all kinds. I mean, if you ever come to, I'll have to invite you to one of my family gatherings at the next available opportunity. But you'll see that, one of the things we love to do is just sit around, crack jokes, eat good food, listen to music, and just have a good time, just celebrate life. And I think that's what it's all about.
When you say family gatherings, you mean in South Florida or in Colombia?
Well, we can definitely talk about Colombia. I think that'll be, it'll be like partying in 1080p, because you can bring the party out of Colombia into Miami, which is where I was born and raised, and we definitely have family gatherings in Miami. But I do dream about the day where me and you at least can go and travel to Colombia and see some of the things, just the beautiful I guess places in nature you can visit, but also the people. The people of Colombia they're amazing to hang out with.
Yeah, I think the people is really the reason to do all this. One day maybe we can just take a South American tour, start in Colombia, go down to Argentina, Peru, Argentina, and then swing right to Brazil, hang out there for a little bit. We have a couple of Brazilians here. I'm sure they would be thrilled to see us coming through. So it would be great. Listen, I want to thank you for taking the time, my friend. I want to just say, look, thank you for everything. Thank you for being the supporter of the channel. Thank you for insightful conversations that we have. Thank you for helping out with the website. Thank you for being selfless. I want to acknowledge you for that. And your friendship means a lot. So I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Yuri. It's my pleasure, my honor, and the feeling is definitely mutual. So
have a wonderful day, man. We'll be talking soon, buddy.
Thanks, man. You too.
Take care.
See ya.
All right, my friends. This is awesome to connect with so many amazing people. I appreciate all of you. Looks like we have UK in the house. Hello, Sam. How are you doing? Thank you for hanging out. We have 16 people watching. We are approaching our final guest. You all know her. So let me go ahead and bring her on. Hello, Felicia.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. So right off the bat, you have many interesting things about you. You like anime. You know how to fix cars.
Yeah.
You love football, which we're going to touch on today. Alabama football in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm warning you. That's right. I'm warning you.
Okay.
And you also have a secret weapon, venison.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
So you have like an interesting combination of things going about you. So out of these 4 things, anime, fixing cars, football, and venison, if you were on an island and you had to choose just one, what would it be and why?
Oh my God, that's hard. I feel like I need all 4 in my life.
You can only pick one.
Well, I wouldn't have the need to fix cars if I'm on an island, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have a car on the island.
I didn't say what island. Maybe it's Bahamas.
I probably wouldn't need a car. I just walk everywhere. Anime, because I can hunt other things other than just.
You would choose anime?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I need something to be entertained with.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. All right, so a few things to acknowledge you. You have most appearances on live streams. You have most donations. You support the channel from day one, so that's nothing to sneeze at. You besides that, you always find a way to inspire, which is really interesting thing, because I feel like we developed a friendship over the course of this channel. Sometimes you just send me a DM on Instagram with the inspirational quote, and that just kind of makes me feel like, wow, somebody else who I've met through the channel actually cares to take the time and do that. So I want to be able to acknowledge you for those things, because these things are amazing. And just thank you for those things, first of all.
Oh, you're welcome.
Secondly, we're gonna let's just talk about football real quick.
Oh, okay. So
because
it's a continuation from yesterday.
Yeah, we had the little conversation about it yesterday. But because like there's such an international community, so I think it actually makes sense to explain people what we are talking about. So the number one sport in the world is soccer. Everybody knows that. And soccer in Russia actually called football because you play the ball with the foot.
Yeah.
Here in America, football called a sport where you throw football with your hand, with your arm. So it really should be called handball, but for some reason it's called football. So many people in other countries know this sport as American football. So it's actually labeled like in Russian, when we refer to football, we say American football. So people know the context, you know?
Right.
So we are talking about American football, a sport where you can throw a ball with the hand. And Felicia and I are fans. Felicia is a fan of Alabama. Now, we are fans of collegiate teams. You know, again, probably those of you who don't live in the United States, not familiar with that. College football, so all the students, Division I, there's like 3 divisions or more, but the 3 main divisions of collegiate sports. Division I college football is, I would say, the most popular sport in America. It has the biggest stadiums. There are some stadiums that fit more than 100,000 people. And that's by far the most popular sport because it's not only drawing fans who like the sport, it also drawing a huge alumni basis. So people who went to university or who associated with the university, and therefore it ends up being this huge event. So it's a little bit of a background about the sport so people in other countries can understand what it is. And so Felicia is a fan of Alabama team, University of Alabama, which is, probably the biggest university or one of the biggest university in the state of Alabama. And there is also, there are no professional teams in Alabama, football teams. Therefore, attention is really on that team and then the rival team that we're not going to talk about today.
The
so it's primarily 2 teams that people really pay attention to in Alabama. And so Felicia is a fan of University of Alabama. I'm a fan of University of Florida. Florida, on the other hand, has many more universities, many more teams, and some professional teams as well. But nonetheless, University of Florida draws a lot of attention to its program, and both teams play in Southeastern Conference. So, long introduction, but Felicia and I kind of like taking stabs at each other lately because both of our teams going to play a game in September in University of Florida Stadium. They call it the Swamp, and rightfully so. So Felicia is like sitting through this uncomfortable introduction right now. Actually, very comfortable for her because her team's been winning lately in the last like 5 to 10 years, beating everybody. But so long story short, we just kind of having a little fun with that and taking stabs at each other because on paper, Alabama is better right now and Alabama should win. But I'm giving her a hard time that it's a new season and that, she may be in for a surprise. Your passion for football, because I did have a question. Your passion for football, because you went to University of Alabama as a student, right?
Yes.
So your passion for football, when did it start? Did somebody introduce you to that? Were there any moments that you can think back to say, man, that was a defining moment where I really became in love with football? Because it's cool to hear, like, all the jokes aside, it's cool to see somebody passionate, because I think passion is awesome, And so when did you become passionate? Did you just jump on the bandwagon?
No, I did not. Thank you. No.
Okay. Well, talk about how it all came about. Talk about your passion. Make me believe that you're a real fan and that you just didn't just jump on the bandwagon.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So basically, my dad, big football fan, big sports fan, because I would watch, games with him and stuff. So I think the first time I really got into like football in general was a Super Bowl I watched for the first time. Because usually, like, when I was younger, like, I never really watched the Super Bowl. I only watched the halftime show and that was it. I wouldn't watch the game. And then like as I got older, I was like I started to like kind of like watch the whole game. And I think it was back when the Rams played. Kurt Warner was the quarterback. I do remember that. That was like my first like taste of football. And like my parents are originally from Alabama, so they've always been Alabama fans. So it's just been kind of like indoctrinated in my DNA. You know, but back then, you know, Alabama kind of sucked. So it wasn't really we weren't really screaming. Kind of like how I'm still a diehard Detroit Lions fan. And if anybody knows about the NFL, the Lions and like the Cleveland Browns and like the Bengals are like always the lowest teams every year. But you know, I'm still a fan, even though like we kind of suck, but that's okay. But yeah, it kind of got into that, and then as I got older, and then when I eventually went down here, because even though I live in Michigan, you know, the Wolverines and the Spartans are pretty big, but I think up north it's more, the colleges are more college basketball based, as opposed to football, even though their football programs are a lot better, like have gotten a lot better over the past couple of years, but it was mainly like Michigan basketball and stuff. But when I moved down here and started going to school here, it was kind of like, I'd never seen so many like insane, passionate fans before until I moved to Alabama. Like the people down here are crazy. Like we don't, like you said, we have no professional teams of any sport. Like none. We have the Birmingham Barons, you know, and that's like a minor league, like D+ team. That's it. That's the team that Michael Jordan came to play for a little time when he wanted to play baseball for a minute. That's the team he played for. So that was like a big thing when he came to play. I think that was like the only big thing that was big for them. But yeah, we don't have nothing but college football. And with when Nick Saban came, it kind of just, this whole state just turned completely like crimson pretty much at that point, because they're just like, the team went from, he pretty much took like a really bad team to like just back to like greatness of what it used to be back in, you know, the Bear Bryant days. You know, that was way before my time. But it kind of like, yeah, people are crazy. I'm not one of those insane Alabama fans. But you know, I'm like right there on the like the teeter spot. I'm like, you know, I won't like cuss anybody out or beat nobody up, you know, if you go against Alabama. I'm not that crazy, but yeah, that's pretty much where it came from. It came from my dad, just like with cars, you know, everything kind of came from my dad almost. So that's how I got into football. And I've always been an Alabama fan, even when they sucked.
So you, even when you walked in, even before you walked in on campus, you already were a huge fan.
Yes. And like that was, Nick Saban was at the school at the time. So it was kind of like, we weren't there yet, but then once we won that championship, it kind of like, because the way the campus looks now compared to what it looked like 7 years ago, like it's like like most of the buildings look like the Taj Mahal, like every single one. Like that's how big it has gotten. Like ever since we started winning championships, and like it's started getting, the SEC started like pretty much, I don't want to say playing favorites, but it seems like sometimes that they do.
Yeah.
And it just, everything like kind of exploded. Like, so pretty much there's nothing to do in Alabama until football season starts. So from August to like, okay, and then it depends on whether we make the playoffs or not. So like August to like January, the fun times. Then after that, there's nothing. We have nothing.
Look, I was just thinking as you were talking, this might be a value to do, I don't know, like some sort of like a live stream, maybe even on a separate channel once the season starts, to do some games analysis or something like that, you know, because I think people might be interested in it and take stabs at each other, you know.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool. I could drink, like, especially like, cause like a lot of the community. Like some are moms. Like, and I can like drink wine and football. Like who does that? Nobody ever does that because I don't like beer. I don't like the taste of beer.
Wine and football.
Wine and football. Yes. Like that sounds really classy.
That's amazing. All right, before I let you go, I need your prediction. I need you, if you up for it, I want you to predict how many games your team is going to win. I will let you this season, the entire season. While you're thinking about it, I'm going to tell everybody in the audience the way the season works. You have 12 regular games in the season. Then afterwards, you if you win your conference, you have the 13 game for the conference championship. If you win that, and if your record is good, you can have 14 and 15 games if you go all the way, because there's 2 games potentially with playoffs. So you have anywhere, you can guess between obviously 12 to 15 games in the season depends on what happens during the season. So what I need you to do is go on record and make a prediction for your team, Alabama, how they're going to do in this upcoming 2021 football season.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Because of course I want to say we're gonna go undefeated again, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say we're gonna lose 1 game this season.
The entire season.
The entire season.
Who they're gonna lose to that 1 game and when?
Well, I know it ain't gonna be Florida, so you can. That's not it. That's not.
You see that, people? You see this confidence? We shall see.
I'm gonna say Ole Miss, because Ole Miss be kind of iffy with us sometimes. Sometimes we play against them really good, and in some games it just be really fucking bad. Like they scare me sometimes, because sometimes I can have like a really good team, and like sometimes their team can suck, and it seems like the team that sucks seems to always like score the most points against them. So I'm gonna say we're gonna lose to Ole Miss, but we're gonna beat everybody else by like 20. Yeah.
Okay, so you are predicting. Are you saying that they're gonna go 14-1 then, or because
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're saying that they're still gonna win the championship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 14-1. Who they play in the SEC championship? I don't know. It's too early to tell right now. But we're gonna be in it. Alabama's gonna be in it. We just got to figure out whose team gonna be. But yeah, we're just gonna lose 1. You know.
Okay, cool. Well, it's an interesting prediction. You heard it. Ole Miss is the team that Felicia think is going to beat Alabama. Anyway, that's interesting how it's becoming like a football picks show.
Yeah.
That's fun. That is fun. That is really, really fun. So I really just wanted to take a moment to say thank you as well. Thank you for being an amazing proponent, amazing supporter of the channel. Thank you for, the words of encouragement that you provided. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for just uplifting, because you always seem to find uplifting ways and good things to say. Obviously, thank you for all the donations that you did. It's incredible to see the amount of support that you provide. And thank you for joining the conversation and contributing to the community. I think that's really amazing because, people love interacting with you. I think many people seen you as a kind of a pioneer, the first person to join the live stream. And they realize like, hey, I can do it too. It's not too bad, So thank you for your bravery as well. I appreciate you very, very much.
Okay, no problem. And congratulations. I was kind of like hoping you would hit the 1,000 mark like while we were doing the stream, because I was like looking at the number. I was like, it's pretty close now. So like, I don't know, maybe by the weekends, and it's gonna be there. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time. Have a great day. We're going to continue to have a little back and forth about football. best believe.
Oh yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
until Florida beats Alabama, then you probably will be a little more quiet.
We'll probably be
But
dead by then, but okay. We'll be old and dead by the time Florida beats Alabama.
but have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too.
Have a great weekend. I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, bye.
Take care, Felicia. My friends, it has been too much fun. I want to make sure that you know, even though we didn't hit the 1K by this stream, you know, we're somewhere, I think like 17, 16, 18 people away, whatever that number is, it fluctuates. It is about the journey. This is what we're celebrating today. It is about the journey. That's the most gratifying thing. It's about the connections. It's about the memories. It's about fun together. It's about bringing everybody into one place and sharing. And I have to highlight this one. XZCTR said, I wish I had such a beautiful wife. That's amazing. That's an amazing comment. That's awesome. This is about the journey. This is about all the things that we've experienced so far, all the fun and all of the memories. I can't thank you enough being part of this journey. I can't thank you enough being part of this community. And this is your celebration as much as it is my celebration. It is celebration of you. Taking the time to actually put yourself out there to submit a comment. It's a celebration of you for being open to new ideas, to watching these videos. It's a celebration of you for coming together as a community. It's a celebration of you for joining the live streams. It's a celebration of you for providing your expertise, your experiences, and your knowledge, your wisdom, and offering it to the world. This is your celebration. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Next Saturday, I want to make sure that you know, I haven't announced it, but next Saturday, we're going to do a live stream at 12 p.m. Eastern time. This is going to be, let me make sure I get the date right so I can tell you the date. I did not make up the little banner for it, but it's going to be July 31st. Mark your calendars. July 31st, 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is going to be a very, very good topic. We're going to have a special guest from UK, and we're going to talk about mental health, self-love, mindfulness. It's going to be a very important topic. As you know, many people in the United States in particular and around the world suffering from mental health disorders. Some of them are disorders. Some of them are battles that we fight every day within our own head. And I'm going to have a guest next weekend here who is really a person to expand on these topics, a person who is covering, you know, mindfulness and self-love and mental health in his content. And I think it's going to be very, very useful for many, many of you. And I'm looking forward to it a whole lot. So I just want to tell you, put it on your calendar, 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, July 31st. Please try to be here live. We're going to have a great conversation. If you have some questions pertaining to mental health, pertaining to mindfulness, pertaining to self-love, jot them down, prepare them so we can share them with that person and we can hear his perspective on it. I think you're going to find him very insightful and very knowledgeable and very helpful. Let me see a couple of questions before I get out of here. I'm sorry I didn't get to majority of your questions today. Today was mostly about the community interaction, about the live guests, and I had a blast today. So thank you everyone for your patience. I apologize that I couldn't get to all of your questions, but I'll try to hit a couple of them right now. Looks like Linda said, Yuri, when you hit 1,000, can you start offering merch? Linda, my plan is merchandise will probably come a little bit later. My plan is to be able to, I'm still thinking of what I actually need to figure out. So I haven't thought about the merchandise. The reason being is because it's a little bit more involved, because I'm trying to do a lot of things on my own, and being able to monetize the channel to where it doesn't require a lot of other resources. Merchandise will require a little bit more work, but it's not even just that. It's the fact that, like, for me, I won't know how many people are actually interested in merchandise. So I think I would, in order for me to offer merch, I would want to test it out first. Maybe even pre-orders and things like that. So I think that would be a way to go, as opposed to just offering merchandise as a store. So maybe there are some other ways that I can brainstorm about it and think about it, to where if people are interested, in other words, then that could be available, and kind of like brainstorm of what these type of things are going to be that people would be interested in. Would they be a t-shirt? Would they be like a baseball cap? Would there be like what is it? What are those items that people would actually be interested in buying? One thing that one new feature that I think will be super valuable once this community reaches 1,000, once the channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, is a community tab. So community tab, it will be a place where you can go on my channel, click on community tab, and engage with the channel. I can submit a poll through community tab to ask a question. For example, how many people will be interested in merchandise? And then, you will be able to go in and interact, respond to that poll, to that question through the community tab. I think this is going to be a very cool feature, because it's going to bring more engagement and the ability to kind of gauge some of these opportunities that people are interested in. So hopefully that answers your question. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout of things that will pop through community tab once channel goes over 1,000 subscribers. Looks like Fia said, thanks for awesome content. Love the community you are building. Thank you so much, Fia. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you joining. It means a lot. Letitia said, Yuri, do you like football? Which Russian team do you support? You're talking about the European football or soccer? I do like it. I haven't watched Russian soccer for a while, but I do support my home team. It's called Rotor. It's the club in my city. I'm going to write it for you. This is the club that we have in Volgograd, Russia. It's called Rotor. And I went to a few games when I was in Russia, but I haven't been watching them for a while. My friends would send me videos of them. In the last couple of years, they went to, in 2018, they have a World Cup championship in Russia. And my friends went to, they built this new, beautiful stadium, soccer stadium in my hometown. And my friends would go there to watch the games, and they would send me videos from the match. And it was super, super cool to see the new, beautiful stadium and my team. But I haven't, unfortunately, watched Russian soccer for a while. It's kind of like, it kind of hasn't been the point of interest lately, I support them, but I don't watch the games necessarily. But thank you for your question. Let's see what else we have. I think Linda has enough idea. T-shirts, magnets, maybe cling stickers, round decals. All of those are good ideas. I like it. So maybe some of the items that people can not necessarily just wear, but some almost like mini souvenirs or something that you can have in your house, or something like stickers where you can attach to things. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So the next thing would be like, how many people actually be interested, and how much it would cost to produce it, and what would it be on it, because it's cool. I must say it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to think about all of this, to move this channel forward, and to offer those type of things. So that's cool. That's really cool. Looks like Letitia said I'm crazy for football. Yeah, I know. In Brazil, football is a huge deal. Football is #1 sport in the world. The only other event, speaking of which, the other event that is greater than football is Olympics. So right now, yesterday, actually, there was an opening ceremony of Olympic Games, Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. I hope that all of you will have a chance to watch Olympic Games. It's the most viewed sporting event in the entire world. We talk about our community, and there is perhaps no other event in the world that brings and unites people as much as Olympic Games do. So, and I have very personal memories about Olympic Games, because I used to watch Olympic Games when I was little with my grandmother. My grandmother used to love watching Olympic Games and supporting like Russian athletes at the time. So we would watch. I remember watching like Seoul game in 1988 and Barcelona games in 1992. And I have very very warm memories of Olympic Games. I think it's an amazing, amazing event. But yes, football is amazing as well. I absolutely love it. And I know in Brazil is a huge, huge deal. In Brazil, been consistently amazing in football for years. Pelé, everybody knows Pelé in Russia. He was like a huge star. Pelé is still arguably the best football player of all times. Like Diego Maradona is there, obviously. There are many amazing Brazilian players that came from Brazil. So it just takes me back, like thinking about sports and thinking about the past, how fun it was. And in Russia, still soccer #1 sport, still is. So it's amazing. My friends, I think this is a good time for us to say goodbye for now. Everything has been said. All the guests has spoken. I hope you come back next Saturday at 12 p.m. to talk about mental health, self-love, mindfulness, and the meaning of all of these things. I'm excited for this conversation. I cannot wait. I hope to see you all next Saturday. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that this is just the beginning of something great, beginning of a place where people can come together from all over the world, share, hang out, enjoy themselves, and connect with other individuals. I wish you an amazing Saturday. I wish you an amazing Sunday. We will be in touch. I'll be working on more videos. The prototypes. Be well, be healthy, be loving, be kind. I will be seeing you soon, my friends. Have an amazing day. Bye now.